what is the minimum physical and medical requirements for special forces? And what? Harsh is asking, what is your opinion on women joining special forces?
To go slow and steady, and you have to be incremental. हर दिन अपने आप में थोड़ी इंप्रूवमेंट लाइए, थोड़ी. And if you feel that everybody needs to understand, whenever you start preparing ये x axis और y axis में आपका परफॉर्मेंस बढ़ते नहीं चला जाता है. यू डोंट कीप गोइंग अप एंड अप एंड अप. एक लेवल पे जाके वो फ्लैटी हो जाता है ग्राफ, एंड देन इट स्टार्ट
Right.
फॉलिंग डाउन. सो यू
Do probation differ from SF battalions to battalions? एक बार क्लियर कर दीजिए हम लोग ऑडियंस के साथ कि why there is a मतलब very big gap between special forces and a conventional infantry unit. What is the difference? Exact difference.
So if you have to do that important kind of tasking, then you need everything that is important and everything that is special.
Correct. और मेजर अपना सानी नमस्ते.
Hi. Namaskar
So
and good evening
guys,
to everybody.
the man, the myth, the legend has arrived. Major Avinash Sani, or as we know him, Major X. So, Major, how is the pandemic treating you? Like बहुत लोग तो mindset, they are under pressure right now. Work from home से ऊब चुके हैं, 24 घंटे घर में रहते हैं. So, how is it treating you? How are you coping up with this, pandemic situation?
See, to be very honest, this is for the first time that I'm out of the army and then I am facing this pandemic.
Right.
Otherwise, me being confined to a small little post in some far-flung area of this country is not new.
Correct.
So at least in this pandemic, most of us are lucky to have internet, electricity, and the right kind of food, the right kind of beverages inside your fridge.
Yes.
But then back then, when I was in those areas, I was not that lucky to have access to all these kind of comforts and luxuries in life. So
Right.
pandemic or no pandemic, see, I'll not say that during the pandemic times you are as good as normal times. No, that is not the case. But then it doesn't matter, brother. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Everything
Correct.
is inside you. If you can sit, introspect, read, invest your time in your own body weight exercises, watch some good documentaries, talk to your friends who are actually genuine, who can actually guide you into the right direction. Everything is good.
Right. So, Major, before we dive into the session, I was giving a gist to the audience members, right? That why we are doing this session. So, can you please be kind enough to, let the audience know why we decided to do these kind of sessions?
Uh, to begin with, see, I am no legend. Don't weave those romantic stories around me because that's not pragmatic. So I was a soldier then. Now I am retired and I am happy to share my experiences so that people learn out of my experiences as I told them the last time. And I thought about this topic because so many boys, so many young guys who want to join the army in particular, or some other wing of the Indian Armed Forces. Many people do want to join the special forces. The simple
Right.
reason being the glamour quotient around us. So I thought it would be prudent and it would be right on my part to at least guide them into the right direction, in the right direction, so that they can put in the right kind of efforts when they have time and when they will. And if I can help somebody, why not?
Yeah. Correct. So, before we dive into this session, so बहुत लोग को पता नहीं है, like many people are not aware about the difference between a special forces unit and conventional unit, right? Because before Uri movie came out, लोगों को पता ही नहीं था कि पारा एसएफ है क्या. They only knew about Marine Commandos or the NSG because of the Mumbai 2008 attacks, right? So प्लीज एक बार क्लियर कर दीजिए हम लोग ऑडियंस के साथ कि व्हाई देयर इज ए मतलब वेरी बिग गैप बिटवीन स्पेशल फोर्सेस एंड ए कन्वेंशनल इन्फेंट्री यूनिट. व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस? एग्जैक्ट डिफरेंस.
See, uh, to begin with, the kind of operations that are being entrusted into the special forces are different. Different as in they are a level up. Uh, Mostly they are to do with the strategic kind of ops.
Right.
The strategic kind of ops wherein the result that the kind of operations would yield would have the capability to alter the result of the overall war. It could be in that theater, it could be in the overall gambit of the operations. So if you have to do that important kind of tasking, then you need everything that is important and everything that is special.
Correct.
And always remember, the tasking comes first, and from tasking you try and design the organization. Once you're done with the organization part, then you try and equip the organization with the right kind of equipment. So that is how it flows. So once the government decides the tasking in conjunction with the senior leadership of the armed forces, that is when the next step comes, how to organize.
Right.
And subsequently, as I said, you equip them. So that is how it differs. You know, the strength that you would have is a handful. The organization that you would have would be very, very different from the conventional fighting forces. Also, the equipment profile that is being given to a special forces unit is special, because the people who are fighting or were trying to do the job are less, and the task is that way is a bit different and difficult also. So how do you
Correct.
equate those two things? By
Right.
giving them superior kind of equipment.
Correct.
So that is what is the differences.
So would you agree that special forces operators, operate in very small numbers?
Yes, they do. I mean, that is the core philosophy, operating in small numbers, small teams.
Right. Right. So because बहुत लोग confused होते हैं, many people are confused that because infantry also has a probation period, and the special forces also have a different probation period, right? So बहुत लोगों के माइंड में ये डाउट है कि दोनों को कंबाइन क्यों नहीं करते, बिकॉज एट द एंड ऑफ द डे प्रोबेशन ऑलमोस्ट सेम ही है. तो उसमें क्या स्पेशल है स्पेशल फोर्सेस यूनिट में कि उनका प्रोबेशन अलग होता है एंड इन्फेंट्री वालों का अलग होता है?
See, let me clear this myth. In infantry, in a regular infantry unit, when you get commissioned and when you join or report in your unit, you do not have a probation kind of thing.
Right.
You've already been posted. Yes, what do you have is called line attachment, and it is different in each infantry unit. Also, the tenure of the line attachment is dictated by the place that you are posted in. Let's say you are
Right.
in a field location, your tenure could be a little less, because you need to take charge of the operational part. Suppose you are in a peace location, that tenure could be a little longer, because then you are not supposed to go into an operation. So the administrative part is more important in a peace location. That is why the tenure is a little longer.
Okay.
In an SF unit, what happens is, first of all, you need to volunteer for it. So once you volunteered, you are assigned a unit. That is beyond you, which unit you are assigned. The MS branch in Delhi decides the assignment. I mean, which unit you would be assigned, and then you are tested for 3 months. The tenure keeps the time period of 3 months keeps changing. A few years back it was 6 months. Now it is 3 months, a month in para center, and then 2 months subsequently in the particular unit. That could differ. But the ideology is the complete unit that time is testing you for what you are. Because the kind of tasking that you're going to undertake in the future is again special. That is why special forces. So
Correct.
those 3 months is all about testing you in and out, right from the junior most paratrooper to the senior most officer, that is the commanding officer. Everybody is testing you. So if they feel that you are worth staying in the unit because of whatever qualities you possess or whatever skill set that you've honed during your training academies, they will select you, and then subsequently that is the beginning of your career in special forces. The training starts once you get marooned, and it is not the vice versa कि 3 महीने का training कर लिया, probation हो गया,
Right.
Now you can
Right,
sit
right.
back the way you told, sit back and relax. No, no.
Correct, correct.
वो सिर्फ screening था. That was only the screening part. The
हम्म।
story starts after that.
So, मुझे कमेंट सेक्शन में बहुत लोग पूछ रहे हैं कि व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन ए नॉर्मल पारा एयरबोर्न यूनिट एंड ये स्पेशल फोर्सेस ना। आपने तो अभी एक्सप्लेन कर दिया क्या स्पेशल फोर्सेस यूनिट है, बट व्हाट
Okay,
इज
okay.
एयरबोर्न यूनिट, व्हाट इज पारा एयरबोर्न यूनिट, क्या?
I'll not delve much into it because we'll have a different session for this. The
या
topic of this session is something else, but I'll try and briefly cover it.
राइट राइट
I will not say it is a normal para airborne unit, and I will not say this is special forces unit.
करेक्ट।
The perception is biased when people say it like that. No. Today we all are part of the so-called special operations. To be very honest, what kind of background do you belong to will not be very important once you go together into an operation.
राइट
When so during actual times, you will rarely have an opportunity wherein you go as a homogeneous unit. You might have read about the US SOF going in. They'll have components of Rangers, they'll have components of Delta, they'll have components of their aviation, special ops aviation.
राइट राइट
So let's not put them on different platforms. So they are as special as they are in their specialized field, that is the airborne operations, which is again our entire different ops of war. If I say it is very vast. There is so much to know, learn, rehearse, coordinate, and and finally to execute. So I will say that their tasking during conventional times of an airborne unit is different, whereas the tasking of a SF unit during a conventional war is different.
राइट
So as I said, tasking, then comes the organization, then comes the equipment. So
Correct.
airborne unit, they generally drop in large numbers, and that is why the organization is such, and then the equipment. And then we'll have a different session wherein I can take on this topic and explain people into the minute details about the
Right.
differences.
Right, right. So, Major Mas, you have been in the thick of thin of the probation, right? So, people often ask how much of it is mental and how much of it is physical. So, in your experience, is there any defined ratio between the mental and physical aspect?
See, we are not a car. I can't calculate the RPM and the acceleration and the clutch.
Right.
We are all human beings. If you ask me which is more important, I will say the mental side is more important. But if you tell me to undermine the importance of the physical side, then that is wrong, because once you get injured, it is not a small run. It is not a run. एक marathon नहीं दौड़ना है 40 kilometer and then you are finished. Even if
Right.
you are injured, you pop a painkiller, you run, and then it is over. It is a 3-month long process of running and exercises and tasks and other things. So you need to understand, you need to be physically fit, wherein you are not injured, and mentally, of course, there is no giving up. Once you volunteer, and if you're that strong, there is no giving up. So both the aspects are important. The mental one a little more, but the physical one is equally important. The most important part in that is not being injured.
Right. Okay. Interesting. So, बहुत लोग पूछते हैं कि very I have compiled a list of questions, just a sec. Before that,
Okay.
before we dive into that, so I've compiled a list of questions from our audience members, which are relevant to this session, right? So we will answer it in orderly manner. Very simple. Some are stupid. Some are very, advanced. But we will go through it all, regardless. So the first question is, what is the minimum physical and medical requirements for special forces? And what do the term BPET and PFT stand for, and how to prepare for them?
Okay, apologies to the audience. Uh, from our side, I mean, no questions are stupid. I mean, it might give an impression, but then no question is stupid because doubts are always doubts. Yes, there would be questions which are not relevant to this session. I might answer them in a different session, but then no questions are stupid. So, notwithstanding that factor,
Right, right,
BPET is Battle Physical Efficiency Test. So it is something to do with testing you on those standards that might help you or assist you or enable you to fight successfully while you are actually in a battle. Now, I'll list out the components of the test. You have a 5 kilometer run with a 3.5 kg, small pack on your back, and then you have your fighting weapon. Then you have a vertical rope that you are supposed to climb third class. You have a 60-meter sprint. I won't spell out the exact, timings and all, but then I'm giving you the broad idea. You have a 9 foot ditch to jump and cross, and then you have a monkey crawl.
right,
And then the second part was PPT. It is physical proficiency test. That is something to do with the normal, aerobic and functional aspects of your body. You have a 2.4 kilometer run. You got chin ups, you got push ups, you got sit ups, you got a shuttle, 5 meter shuttle. You got again the vertical rope, and then you have a 100-meter sprint.
right,
Uh, you see, the important part is to understand what is the final thing you're supposed to achieve. So once you know the goal, you know where to start. Starting is today, and it is now. If somebody asks me how do I start, when do I start? You start now and you start today.
right,
And don't set unrealistic goals. Where people make the mistake is, let's say there is an individual X who is 100 kgs and he wants to run the 5 kilometer in 23 minutes, which is again the special forces time for BPT, and he sets the unrealistic time of 1 month. See, in the process what will happen is he will injure himself. It will do more harm to him. So
exactly.
cite realistic goals, and everything works hand in hand.
Hmm.
It cannot be in isolation. You have to bring down your weight. You have to strengthen your muscles. You need to strengthen your core. You need to take care of your flexibility. You need to take care of your coordination. And only when you move with these elements in their perfect ratio will you achieve the functional fitness. And army or navy or air force or any part of the military, I would say, or paramilitary, is about functional fitness. A guy should be able to run, he should be able to do an obstacle course, he should be able to, jump from a particular height, he should be, able to fire and run. So that takes care of the coordination part. You don't have to be an excellent athlete in one aspect, wherein you lose on the basic elements of the other aspect. That is what I'll have to say.
Correct. So moving on to the next question. Uh, how does a person adapt that surviving mentality from the Army Special Forces, and what one can imply to their personal life from it?
Okay. See, surviving is not a very positive word. You know, you use survival or surviving only when the times are desperate, only when it is the last option. So I'll cite an example. Let's say it's a swimming pool and it is only 25 meters, long, and somebody pushes you into the swimming pool, and you are not a very good swimmer, and you know that if you don't swim those 25 meters, you're going to drown and you're going to die. So that is when the survival instinct, kicks in. You would do everything in your capacity. You will use all your muscles, power, breath, willpower to make an attempt to, cross that length of 25 meters and reach that particular staircase or the bank. So this is survival. So if you're put into a situation where passing the test or remaining in the race is about survival, that means you have accepted that the race or the competition is that important.
Right. Correct.
You wouldn't give up there in that swimming pool because you want to live. So why would you want to give up here if you've considered the competition or the race that important? If it is about life and death, if it is about your self-esteem, if your self-esteem is about your life and death, if it is that important, why would you give up? And if you have that mindset, or if you develop that mindset over a period of time by introspection, by other means, so you are a survivor, and you would survive anywhere. It does not matter where, army or no army, military or no military, it does not matter. You would survive.
Correct. Hmm. Right. So this is another question. So he asks, once rejected, can anyone re-volunteer for the special forces?
Yes. Personal example. I was not rejected though, but then I couldn't make it in the first time. Yes.
Right.
Only if you're rejected on moral grounds, if you're found cheating somewhere, if you're found trying to manipulate things to, make or to prove results in your favor, yes. In that case, you'll not get the second chance. But then, if you fail because you couldn't make it or you couldn't survive the training, and you go back, make up your mind, train, condition yourself, and then come back, yes, why not?
Yes. Correct. So this question is more towards you. Like, what keeps a probie moving in the probation? Like, how do they build such a mindset? How do they keep themselves motivated? Because they are constantly being battered, right? So how do they walk through that hell?
See, uh, when you volunteer, you already know what is the kind of environment you are being, you have forced yourself into, because it's not a comfortable place to stay.
Right.
I mean, nobody wants to stay there even for a day. So 3 long months, it is a long time. So the moment you volunteer, it is 50%, around 50% clear that you've made up your mind and you are ready to go through that gruel.
Right.
And once you are into that gruel, there are very many things which keep you, fueled. Example, let me list out a few. People like me who, dream. I would dream the moment of being marooned. When I'm under constant pain, when the training is not very comfortable, you're all wet, you're all drenched, you're all shivering at times in the night, at times you're all thirsty and looking for water. So what I would do is think about the moment when I am marooned and imagine myself in the beret. And I would say, no, there is no giving up, come what may. The second reason could be the legacy. There are so many officers, so many, of Jawans, my boys, who are second, third generation paratroopers. Their grandfather fought in XYZ, their father would be serving or must have served in a particular unit in so many different conditions. So he has a legacy to protect. So he survives during the odd times because of the legacy. Also, surviving each single day in that scenario, in those conditions, is winning each single day.
Right.
So each day before you sleep, in whatever place you get to sleep, in whatever condition and whatever time, you have won a trophy for yourself. So if you can give that shabashi to yourself that आज तो बच गया, आज जीत लिया मैंने, कल की जंग कल देखेंगे, that gives you, loads of confidence.
Right.
And then many of us have that alter ego of so-called warriors, fighters. So many people have that extra urge or the extra capacity to endure pain because of this warrior psychology or mentality. So they try and instigate those warriors that are inside them. That keeps them going. And a very important part is the bonhomie between the probationers. Probation में कोई officer, कोई जवान कुछ नहीं होता. They all same. So if your group is mature and if they are understanding that they need to stay together while they go through all these, difficult days, they will have a better chance of surviving and they'll make it through the probation. Now that is more important because once you clear the probation, the philosophy is going to remain the same. You're a smaller unit, you're a very small, woven, tight knit unit, which is expected to fight a war behind the enemy lines. So, if you're not an excellent team, how would you do that? If you don't trust each other, if you don't make the most of the skills of an individual has in the team, how would you survive the battle? You won't.
Right.
So the bonhomie or the esprit de corps or the brotherhood that you develop or that you have during the probation is again very important to survive or to keep you motivated throughout the probation.
Correct.
That's all.
Yeah. So growing up, who was your idol in NDA and in IMA? Like, did you have a special forces operator as an idol?
I answered the same query in my last session with Commander Vijay Nair.
Right.
The idol that I had when I was in NDA subsequently became my commanding officer in my unit in 11 Para.
Right.
I won't name him because he is still serving. So yes, obviously I did have an idol. I had a drill instructor. He is a JCO now. He belongs to an airborne unit. But then I had equal regards. I wouldn't keep them in different, weighing scales. So he again was very kind enough to, share his experiences while I was in NDA. And yes.
Correct. So moving on to the next question. What are the tasks and various things that goes on in a probation?
See, you need to understand the intention. Why does somebody give you task? The intention is first to put you under tremendous pressure because what happens is the number of hours in a day is limited. And there are so many officers, JCOs, the training team, the line that you're attached in. There are so many people who are wanting or who would have given you tasks, different tasks, administrative tasks, tasks related to, military planning, tasks related to making presentations on PowerPoint, tasks related to, I would say, drawing the right lessons or conclusions from different special ops, case studies.
Right.
So the primary aim is to put you under tremendous pressure and then see whether you are able to prioritize them or not. Somebody who is mature, somebody who is wise will always prioritize the tasks. कि किसका काम मुझे पहले करना है, इस काम को कर लूंगा तो इससे सिखलाई क्या मिलेगी, मुझे प्रोबेशन में ये मुझे कैसे हेल्प करेगा, and whether I make it in the probation or not make it in the probation, what will I learn and go back in case I don't make it.
Right.
So that is the primary, intention of giving somebody a task. And then it is both, it is physical and mental. Physical tasking mein you'll have all kind of ragadas, you'll be running here helter skelter, रात में ड्यूटी चेक्स कर रहे होंगे आप, नाइट पीटी हो रही होगी, कुछ और हो रहा होगा. And then the mental side is more to do with the पढ़ाई लिखाई वाला thing. They'll give you different, जैसे मैंने बताया, case studies, you'll have PowerPoint presentations, you'll have so many things to write, and time हमेशा कम पड़ेगा. You'll never be able to finish all those tasks. But whatever part of task has been finished by you or completed by you in whatever time frame, that is going to be tested.
Correct.
That is going to be tested for the quality of the task.
Right.
Are you worthy of staying in the unit or not?
Correct. So how did you prepare for NDA? right? Because everyone knows that you were in the Sainik school, right? But it was not only studies in Sainik school. There were many extracurricular activities. So how did you find time to study? Because already by the end of the day you must be exhausted, right? So where did you find that will and time to study?
Will was within me, will was inside me, and time
Right,
तो सबके पास ही वही होते हैं 24 घंटे. You'll have to burn the midnight oil, stay awake in the night. बाकी लोग 10 बजे सो रहे हैं तो आप 12 बजे सोइए, 1 बजे सोइए. बाकी लोग 11 बजे सो रहे हैं तो आप 2 बजे सोइए. Sleep
right,
less, work more. See, it is finally the aim. What do you want to achieve? How bad do you want to achieve it? Everybody wants to stay in the comfort zone.
right,
See, why would I stay awake in the night? Why would I, work more if I'm not that motivated? It is finally the kind of motivation that you have, and how strong is the motivation? How strong is the urge? Why would you want to do it? Is it because of your self-esteem, or is it because you understand the financial implication on your parents, or is it because the, again, as I said, the legacy? So there could be many reasons in the background, but the final thing that is important is the kind of motivation that fuels you.
right. So बहुत लोग क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हैं and you have to answer it in Hindi. He has requested
ओके
कि
ओके, मैं हिंदी में बताऊंगा.
हाँ कि क्या सैनिक स्कूल एंड आरएमसी वाले कैडेट्स को कोई अपर हैंड होता है व्हेन दे गो टू फॉर प्रोबेशन इन एसएफ और लेट्स से इन एनडीए और आईएमए फिजिकली कोई मतलब एडवांटेज होता है?
हाँ, फिजिकली देयर इज नो डाउट. सी, हम 6th क्लास से दौड़ रहे हैं, हम 6th क्लास से रूटीन में हैं, हम 6th क्लास से ड्रिल कर रहे हैं, हम 6th क्लास से ऑब्स्टेकल कर रहे हैं, गेम खेल रहे हैं. फिजिकल्स में तो देयर इज अ क्लियर डिस्टिंक्शन बिटवीन समबडी हु इज पास्ड आउट फ्रॉम सैनिक स्कूल, मिलिट्री स्कूल, आरआईएमसी, एनी प्रिपरेटरी स्कूल फॉर दैट मैटर, or
राइट,
service preparatory institute, in Maharashtra, vis-a-vis somebody who is not indulged in physicals, not played too many games. But if you ask me, when you go for the actual SSB, okay, before I go to the SSB, हमें फिजिकल्स में फायदा होता है, तो आप लोगों को पढ़ाई लिखाई वाला एंगल में भी तो फायदा होता है. रिटर्न्स में
राइट,
आप
करेक्ट,
लोग कोचिंग जा सकते हैं, आप लोग एक्स्ट्रा टाइम में बाहर निकल कर टीचर्स से सलाह मशवरा कर सकते हैं. हमारे पास लिमिटेड टाइम होता है डाउट्स पूछने के लिए, समझने के लिए. बाहर हम जा नहीं सकते, कोचिंग या ट्यूशन कर नहीं सकते. सो आपको रिटर्न में एडवांटेज है, हमें फिजिकल्स में एडवांटेज है. बट सरप्राइजिंगली एसएसबी में फिजिकल्स का कोई बड़ा गेम नहीं है, कोई बड़ा खेल नहीं है, बड़ा पार्ट नहीं है.
राइट,
SSB is more about checking your personality, what kind of human being you are. उसमें if you ask me, do we have an upper hand? I would say no. Why? Because the GTO or the psychologist or the guy who is assessing you or the team which is assessing you, they understand. Sorry, मैं फिर इंग्लिश में चला गया. कि एक लड़का सैनिक स्कूल से आया है तो इसको SSB की ग्रूमिंग की दी गई होगी कि क्या क्या टेस्ट होंगे, इसमें आपसे क्या एक्सपेक्ट किया जाता है, आपने तैयारी कैसे करनी है. और एक लड़का जो बाहर किसी स्कूल से आया है, उसको वो अलग तरीके से असेस करते हैं कि इसको इन सब चीजों के बारे में नॉलेज नहीं है. इसके लिए ये पहला एक्सपोजर है, एंड इस पहले एक्सपोजर में ये कितना समझ पा रहा है, कितना असेस कर पा रहा है और किस हिसाब से लिख पा रहा है, तो उसका असेसमेंट अलग होता है vis-a-vis somebody who is from a school like us.
राइट,
So we don't have an upper hand.
करेक्ट. So I hope you got your answer, whoever asked that question. So let me move ahead with the compiled list of questions. What is the difference between each SF battalion?
Again, this question is beyond the purview of
Exactly.
the session.
Right.
But then ठीक
So
है,
we should.
I'll just take a minute.
Okay.
See, SF बटालियन में क्या डिफरेंस है? द डिफरेंस है कि वो कन्वेंशनल वॉर जब भी होगा उसमें उनकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी कहाँ है, किसे कहाँ लड़ना है.
Right.
आप अभी के लिए इतना ही समझिए. बट आई वुड ऑल्सो लाइक टू ऐड, what is more important is when you go to that SF battalion, what difference are you going to make?
Correct.
SF battalion क्या है, उसकी लीगेसी क्या है, यू नो, आपके जो भी तराजू हैं, स्केल्स हैं, उसमें आप जैसे भी नापते हैं किसी SF बटालियन को, उससे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है हाउ आर यू गोइंग टू कंट्रीब्यूट इनटू दैट पल्टन, इनटू दैट बटालियन. आप वहां
Right.
जाके अपने कोर्सेज में कैसे करने वाले हैं, व्हाट ग्लोरी आर यू गोइंग टू ब्रिंग टू दैट बटालियन, दैट इज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट.
Correct. So this we will skip because the other question is almost same as battalion question. Uh, is there a defined age to join the special forces?
I'll say yes, but then we always have exceptions.
Correct.
The basic criteria would be the first 5 years of your services. When you join the military, मतलब अगर आप other ranks से join करते हैं या officer rank से join करते हैं, generally people who cross this barrier or bracket of 5 years of service, their chances are a little less because आपने volunteer करना है, the CO has to sign your papers, the MS branch has to take a call. जिस unit में आप probation करने जा रहे हैं वहां पे you will be competing with the young officers who are just commissioned, उनके physical के साथ you have to match. On the mental side you have to be so much better than those lieutenant sabs who are just commissioned because you put in 5 years of service. So all these things play up. I will say आप अगर बेसिक वो मानना चाहते हैं, it is first 5 years of your service. If you want to volunteer, please volunteer in that bracket. It will make things easier for you in all aspects. But even if you've crossed that barrier of 5 years and you are exceptionally good and you can convince the team who is going to select you in that particular battalion, there is no stopping for you. There are so many good officers who come after 5 years of service.
Correct. So moving on to the next question. What are the requirements to volunteer for the special forces? Do you have to be in merit in your academy, and does it depends on the number of vacancies available in a particular SF battalion?
Okay. Again, the trend, the trend is not the same. What used to happen 5 years back or 10 years back when I got commissioned was different. What is happening now is different. And what would happen 2 years from now or 1 year from now would be different.
Right.
Because the conditions in the organization change, and when the conditions change, the policies also change. So during my times, anybody and everybody who was interested to volunteer could volunteer. I believe we were 32 or 34 of us who volunteered, and the number of people who made it in the first probation was around 10, 11.
Right.
That was a good number. Then there came a I'll say period when people couldn't actually opt for it. Maybe the strengths were too full in the SF battalions, and then there came again a phase wherein people could again volunteer. So that keeps changing. So that is not very important. What is important is if you want to volunteer, what is your mindset and how have you prepared yourself both physically and mentally to go and do the probation. That is more important.
Correct. So another question is regarding fitness. What is the physical fitness from the aspects of an operator?
I believe I didn't finish the last question. If you could repeat it.
Yeah, so what are the requirements for volunteer for the special forces, and do you have to be in merit, and does it depend on number of vacancies?
Okay, see, merit. Obviously, if you're in the first block, the merit does help you. There were so many of my course mates who were in that block and they asked for a particular unit, they went to the particular unit. Even if you're not in the merit in your academies, OTA, IMA, it does not matter. Volunteer and opt from whichever block you are, whichever place you are, or if you're not given SF in the first go, when you're commissioned, you get commissioned into XYZ arm. It does not matter. You can always opt from that arm and come to an SF battalion or an airborne battalion for your probation. So your motivation or the inspiration that you have to come and join the special operations forces, I would say that should be intact, and
Right.
subsequently you will always get the chance to come and do the probation.
Right. So back to my original question: what are the physical fitness requirements from the aspects of an operator?
See, the way I answered, I believe it is the first question. You don't have to be an excellent guy in one particular field. You don't have to be bench pressing 150 kg. If you can do it, it's a bonus. That is good. Nobody is saying you not to do it. Or you cannot be a guy who is running a 5K, let's say under 20 minutes, but then he's not able to climb the rope.
Right.
Everything boils down to the functional fitness. Functional fitness will ask stamina from your body. It will ask strength from your body. It will ask endurance from your body. I'll cite examples also. It will ask coordination from your body, balance from your body, flexibility from your body. So I will say it is better to go and seek professional guidance in case you are not, in a place where you have instructors, than to self train and get injured or train in a wrong manner. That is what I'll suggest. I'll give example. See, if you don't have strength in your upper body, you can't do the chin-ups, you can't do the toe touch, you'll not be able to do the pull-ups, you'll not be able to do the vertical rope. And let me tell you, uh, picking up a dumbbell which is 12 kg is activating different muscles, and doing a vertical rope only with your hands, it is a different ball game.
Right. Right.
So you will realize the exercises in the army are more to do with your own body weight. It is carrying your body in the war, in the battle, in the operation, and at times carrying the body who is injured.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
So if you can satisfy these things, see the endurance, you run 40 kilometers in probation, you do speed marches. In infantry also you have speed marches. So what does it test? It tests your endurance.
Correct.
Because during difficult times you'll have to put your weight, and you'll have to walk for long distances. You do the obstacle courses. Assume a situation wherein you are fighting, and then you have to crawl under some barbed wire. You need to jump over a particular height of wall. You need to climb a particular height of wall. So if your body is not coordinated, how to do those things? So my way of looking at fitness is the functionality part is the most important. Once you are functionally fit, then you can excel in any 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 aspects. That is up to you.
Right. Right. So I was curious about this. Like, what do the instructors see in a probe? Like, how do they assess a probe? वो क्या देखते हैं
Okay.
प्रोबी के अंदर?
See, probation ko agar मैं if I put it in one line, it is very simple. It is whether you can withstand that pressure. मान लो आप कोयला हो, you are coal. If you withstand that pressure, you transform yourself into what? Diamond.
Right.
So people are looking forward to a soldier. अगर वो जवान है तो a good team member, in that squad.
Correct.
अगर वो officer है तो apart from being a good team member, a good team leader who can also lead that particular team by personal example. So unless and until you tell those Jawans that you are really that good by showing results in the probation, be it your BPTs, speed marches, other exercises, the military planning, or the stress week, or the navigation, or the firing. If you don't lead by example, they won't accept you. The chances of they accepting you is very, very bleak. Very, very bleak.
So basically, they don't like John Rambo's.
See, John Rambo is an imaginary concept
Right.
wherein you go single-handed, and you kill. See, it has always been about teamwork. Today it is about teamwork, and in the times to come, जब तक ये special operations का concept रहेगा, it will always be about teamwork.
Correct. So let's move on to the next question. Why shouldn't anyone volunteer for the SF? What are the cons of special forces lifestyle? How do they balance personal life and professional life?
Cons. I would know the cons. See, my मेरे life का center of gravity was special forces and special ops.
Right.
I can't spell out the cons. I wouldn't know how would I spell out the cons. I mean, I can rattle out 10 things which are good about it. And somebody who's so keen to know about the other side, I wouldn't say that there are no other side. I would say I don't know. If you're so keen, come join the SF, become a part of it. Assess the cons.
Right.
You see, your military planning, your military bearing becomes so much better. You have the exposure to the foreign weapons and equipment. They're all top-notch weapons and equipment. You become functionally fit. The kind of exposure that you have in terms of operations and meeting with the senior officers and briefing them is unparalleled. You have better allowances. The glamour quotient is again top notch.
Exactly.
You have the chance to do so many specialist courses. You can have your primary skill of demolition, medicals. You learn all the basic aspects of the medical, how to treat a gunshot wound, XYZ. You can do the, you know, you can take your specialization a notch up by doing the combat rifle or the underwater combat diving. So you see, I just rattled out 10 different points why
Right.
it is good. And if you ask me, it is about the family life. Family life is equal across the fighting arms. You do have tenures wherein you're deployed, and you do have tenures wherein you're back into the base. So family life that way is more or less same in the fighting arms.
Correct.
It is about you as an individual, how good or bad you are, and how efficient you are in handling your, handling that balance of your professional versus the family life.
Right. Correct. So Satvik is asking, can you please shine some light on civilian doctors on joining special forces?
See, anybody who wants to join special forces, I'm not very sure about the US kind of entry, but in India, you need to become an armed forces personnel. आपको
Right.
पहले आर्मी ज्वाइन करना पड़ेगा in whatever capacity. Once you join the army, only then can you volunteer for the SF. So once you become a part of that fraternity of the parachute regiment, then you will be posted in a particular unit. And when you go to that unit, you can always volunteer. You can always tell the team commander or the commanding officer, sir, I would like to go into the particular area of operations, wherein I would like to go with the team into the operations. कोई मना नहीं करेगा आपको. They'll be more than happy to have a doctor. We do have nursing assistants and people who are qualified in the medical skills. But then if a doctor is accompanying us, it is even better.
Right. Correct. So, and there was almost similar question. Uh, can anyone from any branch in the army try for the special forces, or do they have to be from a particular branch? And can volunteers from JAG be eligible?
I'm not very sure about the JAG branch because it is again a very specialized, part of the or the arm of the Indian Army. But infantry yes, RT yes, armored yes, ordnance yes, ASC yes, EME yes, signals yes. Yes, you can volunteer from any arm. Yes, provided you are motivated and you're prepared, you can volunteer.
Correct. So another viewer asks, what is the right age to start preparing for special forces?
Right age is now, right time is today.
Right.
I mean, right time is today and right age is. I mixed it up. अभी start करिए, आज start करिए.
Correct.
See, everybody needs to understand whenever you start preparing ये x axis और y axis में आपका परफॉर्मेंस बढ़ते नहीं चला जाता है. You don't keep going up and up and up. एक लेवल पे जाके वो प्लेटी हो जाता है ग्राफ, and then it starts
Right.
falling down. So you don't have to hit that peak. You just have to go slow and steady, and you have to be incremental. हर दिन अपने आप में थोड़ी इंप्रूवमेंट लाइए, थोड़ी. एंड इफ यू फील दैट आपका ग्राफ जो है वो प्लेट्यू हो गया है, पिक अप अ डिफरेंट स्किल. आपका दौड़ने में ग्राफ जो है प्लेट्यू हो गया है, पिक अप अ डिफरेंट स्किल, गो टू द वेट ट्रेनिंग. इफ यू थिंक वेट ट्रेनिंग में हाँ मेरा आई एम गुड नाउ, पिक अप मार्शल आर्ट्स. इफ यू थिंक मार्शल आर्ट्स इज ओके, ठीक है अब इससे ज्यादा मुझे नहीं सीखना, ब्लैक बेल्ट नहीं लेना, एंड आई एम ओके, गो एंड डू स्विमिंग, एंड्योरेंस स्विमिंग. इफ यू फील स्विमिंग हो गया है, पिक अप अ गेम,
Right.
है ना.
Correct.
पिक अप अ गेम which requires your hand eye coordination.
Right.
So that is how I'll suggest.
So Harsh is asking, what is your opinion on women joining special forces?
My opinion is neutral. It actually does not matter that the probi is a woman, she is a girl, she is a boy, वो जाट है, तंबी है, उड़िया है, तेलुगु है, कश्मीरी. It does not matter. It does not matter. What matters is what is the mindset of the probi, how good or bad he or she is in terms of the skills and the test parameters, and will he or she be able to lead that small team into operations.
Right.
Simple.
Correct. The next question is, someone who hasn't been into sports, hardcore physical activities, still joining the academy, can even think about clearing the probation?
Why not? Why not? Academy की जो ट्रेनिंग है, it's a long training. 9 महीने में you can bring your body into the basic standards of conditioning. I mean, only then can you pass out from the academy. आप तो जब तक academy के basic tests पास नहीं करेंगे, आपको तो academy से पास आउट नहीं होने देंगे.
Right.
And if you are passing the basic tests in the academy, and if you volunteered for the SS, once you go there, you will have good instructors. The instructors there are very, very meticulous. The probation graph is very deliberately planned, so that the training is very, very incremental. You have a stress phase, you have the weeding out phase, then you have the strengthening phase, and you just have to survive, and then you will be amazed by the kind of results that you would have at the end of the training.
Right. Correct. So Satvik again is asking, how many people are chosen into special forces in a year?
There's no set numbers. We don't have set numbers. Yes, we don't have set numbers. If there are 100 people who are good, who are worth it, all of them will be selected. If there are 200 people who come for probation, only 2 are good and 198 are not worth. The unit or the battalion will weed out those 198 people. They'll chalk them out. Not required. Thank you.
Right. So Prasanna Bhatt is asking, how does a para officer is deputed to, let's say, Special Frontier Force or something else?
See, again, the deputation is that depends on the kind of vacancy which is available, and whether the particular individual, the officer, whether he is willing to go there. I mean, whether he is willing to go or not. So if you know that you want to go to a particular place, you can always volunteer for it, and if there is a vacancy, the MS branch will give you the posting.
Right. Got it. So next question is, how tough or rare is absorption in regular forces from territorial army, and how does a para guy in a territorial para battalion gets attached with regular SF battalions for deployments? So most of the people are asking this because बहुत लोगों ने मेजर प्रदीप आर्या को देखा है. He was in the para battalion and he joined the para SF. So उस पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से बहुत लोगों ने ये क्वेश्चन पूछा था, तो इफ यू कैन शेयर सम लाइट ऑन।
Okay. See, once you are in a TA battalion, and if you can convince your commanding officer of the TA battalion that you are motivated enough and you are worthy of going and having a cross attachment with a particular SF unit which is in a particular place, you can always go do the probation and get attached. Nothing stops you. Nothing stops you.
Correct.
See, you have to understand, we, the SOF community, is wanting more number of people to come and test themselves. Unless and until you go and give that, appear for that test, how would you know whether you can do it or not?
Right.
The attrition rate is high. Yes, I understand the attrition rate is high because of the standards that you are supposed to achieve. But that should not deter you from going and attempting. You understand?
Correct.
So,
Correct.
go stepwise. पहले आप यूनिफॉर्म पहनिए. Once you have the uniform and your physical standards are good, you are motivated, you have good amount of knowledge regarding the special ops, convince your CEO, then आप क्रॉस अटैचमेंट के लिए जाइए उधर. वहां भी आपको बहुत कुछ चीजें नई मिलेंगी, बहुत सारी चीजें आपको सीखने को मिलेंगी. You will have a wonderful experience with the unit.
Correct. And we have another question from our audience members. Dark Sun is asking, what is the scope of psychology?
I didn't get the question, sorry.
Exactly, that is what he has asked. What is the scope of psychology? I guess he's, asking in terms of profession. I guess I don't know. That is his
I
question.
didn't understand. I don't understand the question. I believe he'll have to reframe the question before the live session, or maybe we can take on the question in the next session.
Yeah, sure. Not an issue. So the next question is, what was the toughest part of probation according to you? Name one.
I can't name one. There
Right.
is no one moment. There is no one best thing. There is no one, best friend. There is no one best weapon. There is no one best XYZ. The complete range that we had, range of exercises or the tasks that we had in the probation, everything was tough. I mean, for God's sake, how would you rate them? कैसे rate करते हैं भाई? मुझे तो नहीं पता.
Exactly.
You are constantly in pain. I mean, आप saturated हैं. You're not sleeping well, you're not eating well, you're constantly doing some of the other exercises, your knuckles are bruised, your elbow is bruised, your back is bruised. So there is no one bad moment, there is no one bad woe. And I will also, suggest these people, आप इस psychology से बाहर निकलिए. One big moment of my life, one bad moment of my woe, ऐसा नहीं होता.
Right. Next question is almost similar, but still I will, say it out loud.
Okay.
How to stay calm and focused while encountering something that makes you excited and nervous?
Okay. See, our reaction to a particular scene is what? It is about the kind of response or the stimulus given by the hormones to your brain.
Right.
If there is a particular height, and if we are asked to jump, everybody is scared. Everybody is scared. And it is supposed to be that way because your defense mechanism, your survival instinct of your head, the sanity in your head tells you, bhai kyun kood raha hai? It is a potent risk to your life.
Right.
So all of us are scared in that moment, or when somebody is training you underwater, you're scared.
Correct.
You don't see the earth. If something goes wrong, you have to you have to ascend that height, and only then can you breathe. All of us are scared, and that is good. See, when you are scared, what happens is the conscious part of your brain becomes active. The kind of decision making that you have in those moments are much better, are much superior. So I will not give you some advice that you should not be scared, that ये डर नहीं लगना चाहिए, and you should be this, that. No, that is absolutely normal. what you should do is you should have the sanity in place so that you tackle the situation. Now, how do you do that? You do that when you accept it in your head that whatever is going to happen is not that is going to affect your teammates or yourself in a manner which is irreversible, or when you have trained yourself enough, you need to understand those aspects. So when you are confident about your skills, about your strength, about your teammates, I believe you can take care of difficult situations.
Right. Correct. The next question is, how do you mentally prepare for a 100-kilometer speed march?
Mentally, see, after a particular distance, everything starts hurting. Your knees, your heel, your back, because you also have that weight behind your back. What I would do, what I would do is I am not a professional. See, I'm not a professional psychologist or a trainer who will give you ways and means. I can tell you what I would do. I would think of a particular scenario and I would start dreaming because I know it is going to hurt. If I stay in the present scenario, present state of mind, जहाँ पे I'm running and it is hurting and मैं बार-बार किलोमीटर स्टोन को देख रहा हूँ, घड़ी तो अलाउड होता नहीं उस टाइम दौड़ते टाइम, it will hurt me. It is only going to bother me. So what I do is I get into a mode wherein I think about the good moments that I had in the past. I think of those moments wherein I was winning. If it was probation, I would think of those 60, 70 days. जहाँ पे each night I was dreaming that I got a trophy. Wherein I was, consoling myself that yes, आज का दिन जीत गया, कल देखेंगे. So I would, dive into those kind of moments because it is going to hurt. And if you're not going to give up, it does not matter. It does not matter where it hurts, how it hurts. Just continue. Resilient, छोड़ना नहीं है. It is as simple. छोड़ना नहीं है. Everybody who is running आपके बाएं दाएं आगे पीछे, everybody is hurt. हर किसी को दर्द हो रहा है. हर किसी के पैर में blisters हो गए हैं, बैक में bruises हो गए हैं. But they're not giving up. So why should you give up?
Right.
Simple.
So Akash asks, what is the role of spiritualism in a warrior, especially special forces soldiers? And does spiritual life, plays a big role in your life?
I will not say a big role. There are very many people who are not very spiritual and they are doing exceedingly well in special forces or not special forces. But then, yes, spirituality is something to do with your, subconsciousness that most of us don't, get time to address. In a span of 24 hours, we hardly have time to set introspect and, scratch our subconsciousness and get into the spiritual mode. It is not very, I'll say, relevant. But yes, if you are spiritual, it definitely gives you an edge because that way you know your subconsciousness, your inner self so much better. You won't give up easily if you're that kind of guy.
Correct. The next question is, how to be high on life without being in the army?
See, army or no army, the kind of human being you have decided to become, the kind of activities that you've decided to involve yourself in will be the kind of future that you've chosen for yourself.
Right.
People who are not in the army and into skydiving, they are high. People who are not into skydiving and who are into computer coding, जब वो नया computer code बनाते हैं, game design करते हैं, they are high. So every small little thing that you do and you succeed, and especially if that thing is to do with your field of passion, you become high. आपको जो करना है लाइफ में उसको चूज करिए, उसमें मेहनत करिए, उसमें अच्छा करिए. You'll always be high. You'll always be happy. You'll always be full of adrenaline.
Correct.
है ना?
Right.
So that psyche is more important.
Right, correct. So another audience members asks, do probation differ from SF battalions to battalions? Are the
Yes,
modules
it does.
same or
It does.
different? Yeah.
No, the test parameters are the same. आपको वही 20, 30, 40 km दौड़ना है, एंड्योरेंस करना है, आपने वही बीपीटीज दौड़नी है. The test parameters are the same, but the assessment modules are different because each SF battalion is located in a different place, which has got different demands in terms of physicals or navigation skills or survival skills. The composition of men in that particular battalion is a bit different. So yes, that way it is different, but it does not matter. It does not. It hardly matters. ना आप ये डिसाइड कर सकते हैं कि आप कौन सी पलटन में जा रहे हैं. जब आप डिसाइड नहीं कर सकते एंड यू लैंडेड अप इन विच एवर पलटन यू हैव, अब तो क्या करना है, अब तो पहुंच गए हैं, तो आप हमने 90 days का प्रोबेशन करना है, वट एवर इज
Right.
बीइंग डिमांडेड. एज
Right.
सिंपल.
Correct. Uh, Next question is, in fact, last question. How to recover your lost
Okay.
motivation in these pandemic times, as we are in the house 24/7?
सी, हम जब छोटे होते थे तो हमें पूछा जाता था कि व्हाट आर योर हॉबीज, व्हाट डू यू लाइक टू डू इन योर लेजर टाइम. उस टाइम तो इंटरनेट भी नहीं होता था, लैंडलाइंस भी नहीं होते थे. आई स्टिल रिमेम्बर आई वुड राइट लेटर्स टू माय पेरेंट्स फ्रॉम सैनिक स्कूल. वो भी पहले पोस्ट कार्ड, देन इनलैंड लेटर, देन एसटीडी बूथ, एंड दोस एंड देन स्लोली वी ग्रेजुएटेड.
Right.
Outside or inside, lockdown or no lockdown, you will always have something to do which you like to do. And if you don't have something that you like to do, you need to ask yourself, sit and introspect, what is it that you genuinely enjoy? क्या आपको गाना सुनना अच्छा लगता है? क्या आपको अपने आप को इम्प्रूव करते हुए देखने में अच्छा लगता है? क्या आपको कंप्यूटर गेम्स खेलने में अच्छा लगता है? क्या आपको बुक्स पढ़ने में अच्छा लगता है? क्या आपको डॉक्यूमेंट्री से कुछ सीखने में अच्छा लगता है? क्या आपको ड्राइंग करना अच्छा लगता है? यू नीड टू फाइंड दैट एक्स फैक्टर दैट गिव्स यू हैप्पीनेस. अभी हुआ क्या है, इन दिस फास्ट पेस्ड वर्ल्ड, all of us have become impatient. It goes for me also. If I compare myself what I am today and what I was when I was commissioned, बहुत ज्यादा डिफरेंस है impatient के डिग्री को if I compare.
Right.
So calm yourself down, try and sit and think what you enjoy, make some small term, buy a board, place a paper on your mirror, write some small term, short term goals that you would like to achieve. कुछ भी कि मैं at the end of the week, maybe end of the month, I would like to do 50 push-ups. Maybe I would remember these things. Maybe I'll finish my sketch. Maybe I'll finish some level in some game. Maybe I'll watch so many documentaries. Maybe I'll do some online certification. Today, you people are, I mean, all of us are lucky. There are so many portals where you have online certification.
Correct.
Subscribe to some course. आप उसमें time spend करिए. Spend time with your family. हम people in uniform, we are not as lucky as you are. At least you are going to stay with your family, wife, kids, brothers, sisters, father, mother, uncle, aunt. Spend time with them, talk to them, ask about their experiences,
Right.
and stay happy. Stay happy. That is the baseline, and everything
So,
will be good.
so basically, keep yourself busy constantly.
Obviously, sleep well, sleep in the right, frame of mind. Go early, wake early, and keep yourself busy. Stay happy.
Right. So, Rahul asks, I don't know if you can answer this or not. Can an SF officer join RAW?
There have been instances where people have joined in the past. In the present, I don't know. I have not taken that route. And what are the policies, the updated policies? I won't know.
Right, right. The next question is, if let's say someone volunteers for special forces, how, matlab, what is the chances that they will, suffer PTSD, like in Western special forces and other NATO countries?
Uh, PTSD. It's again a difficult point to comment. I wouldn't comment because I am not from the medical fraternity.
Right.
But if you ask me in plain words, do we have different time? Do we have difficult times while we serve? Yes, we do have difficult times. But does it equate to or transform to PTSD? I can't answer. I don't know. I wouldn't know. The medical guy would be in a better place to answer that.
Right. 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 So one of the audience members asked, बहुत सारे स्पेशल फोर्सेस ऑफिसर इतने यंग एज में क्यों प्री मैच्योर रिटायरमेंट ले लेते हैं? व्हाट इज द रीजन?
See, when you enter any particular field, अगर मैं किसी कॉर्पोरेट वाले को बोलूं कि भाई तुम तो इस पर्टिकुलर कंपनी में बड़ा अच्छा काम कर रहे थे, 2 साल में क्यों छोड़ दिया? What would you say?
करेक्ट.
You would say better opportunities, better वो पे जो भी है जैसा भी है. All of us have different reasons. हम एक पर्टिकुलर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में कुछ अचीव कर रहे हैं, कुछ काम करने जाते हैं, एंड देन व्हेन वी फील दैट हाँ हमारा काम अचीव हो गया है, हम सबके पास तो कॉन्शियस कॉल होता है लेने को, वेदर टू कंटिन्यू और नॉट टू कंटिन्यू. एंड जल्दी कहाँ छोड़ रहे हैं भाई? 10 साल इज नॉट अ जल्दी टाइम. आप आइए एक बार स्पेशल फोर्सेस में 10 महीने रहिए, 10 दिन रहिए, प्रोबेशन में 10 दिन रहिए, और फिर ये क्वेश्चन आप बताइए मुझे कि 10 साल इज अ शॉर्ट टाइम और नॉट.
करेक्ट. करेक्ट. सो विद दैट गाइस, आई थिंक सारे क्वेश्चन भी कवर हो ही गए हैं. एंड बहुत लोग पूछ रहे हैं मतलब कमेंट सेक्शन में, विच इज नॉट रिलेटेड टू दिस टॉपिक. दिस विल बी कवर्ड इन अनदर सेशन. सबका आंसर मिलेगा, डोंट वरी. आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट यू ऑल टू डीएम मी योर क्वेश्चंस, व्हाटएवर क्वेश्चंस यू हैव. एंड अलग सेशन में हम लोग दूसरा टॉपिक को पकड़ के वी विल टॉक अबाउट दिस थिंग्स. सो मुझे अविनाश, how did you feel? How do you think the first session went?
See, I had this intent of helping out people with the basic questions, because when they put messages in my Instagram account, it is very difficult for me to type.
Right.
मैं थोड़ा टेक्निकली हैंडीकैप हूँ. इट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट फॉर मी टू टाइप, एंड एट टाइम्स लगता है कि ये ऐसा सवाल क्यों पूछ रहा है. एट टाइम्स लगता है, बट देन इफ आई गेट इनटू द पर्टिकुलर इंडिविजुअल शूज, शायद मैं भी ऐसा पूछ रहा होता, बिकॉज बहुत सारी जगह अवेयरनेस का लेवल डिफरेंट है.
And also because special forces is shrouded in mystery, right? Not everything is public, so obviously it is
Things-
वो curiosity तो होगा ही, right?
Things that are supposed to stay in the mystery will continue to stay in the mystery. I will not delve into those kind of details.
Correct.
But जो चीजें बताने से we can have more people volunteering, and we can have more chances of having good input into the battalions, into the SOF community as such. I think that is something good for the society. अगर पहले there were 100 people who were wanting to come and now there are 1000 people, we'll have better chances of getting even better candidates,
Right.
and
Right.
the selection or the filtering process will be so much more efficient.
Correct.
So that is what my intent was. My intent was to let people know about how to do it, what is the mindset, what are the basic rules when you are exercising, and I would also like to take this opportunity to tell people that don't get offended, when we try and post something on the Instagram page. Believe you me, we take all the measures not to disclose somebody's identity, and whatever we do on the page is something which is within the rules. If it was not within the rules, we wouldn't do it for popularity. That is not the aim. And risk तो कहीं भी है, कभी भी है.
Correct.
Believe you me, our intent is not to hurt somebody's feelings or disclose somebody's identity which is not supposed to be. And if there are suggestions, we'll always take care of those suggestions. We'll try and make those necessary amendments or corrections in the page, because after all, the page is for you people. We are only there to put the posts. It is for you people to enjoy and know and learn about what all things are happening. And I thank you for giving me this opportunity to come on this portal and speak and speak my heart out.
Yes.
And Jai Hind to everybody, and a good night.
So that's it, guys. This is it for our first live session. बाकी पवी ग्रेवाल, वी विल कॉन्टेक्ट यू. आपने जो लिखा है मैंने पढ़ लिया है. वी विल कॉन्टेक्ट यू. ओके, so that's it. Let's end it, I guess. This is it.
Bye bye.
Jai
Bye
Hind.
bye.
Jai Hind.
Jai Hind. Jai Hind.
How do you end it? I don't know. First time I'm doing it.